Hey guys, what's going on? This is CoPixel, and today I am going to show you how to make a lot of money in Sunlit Valley using the Splendid Slimes mod. Um, yeah, so I mean, basically, you can just become a millionaire, over the course of a few days in game. So, kind of explain what's going on here. We've got some gold slimy largos, and we're feeding them some blue orchids, and it's all automated. And then so what this does is this chest will vacuum up and spit out the orchids, and then it with these other hoppers, of course it's gonna rain. With these other hoppers, they're gonna shoot out slimy plorts to the right and gold plorts to the left, and then there is hoppers underneath that are going into the smart shipping bins. So once this is done being created, then it goes into the shipping bin, and then the shipping bin will sell every so often. I'm not sure if it's a 10-minute timer, 5-minute timer, and that money will automatically go into the basket. And so all you really have to do is take the money out of your inventory and throw it in here, and then then you have lots of money. And I'll explain what the market is for here, what this is here, what we have going on over here. If you want to take a look at all the items that you're going to need, these top 3 rows here, I believe I got everything. Maybe this should be up here as well. Yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of this, don't worry about the bottom row. That's more for the advanced stuff. So basically a couple baskets, a couple smart shipping bins, a couple plort presses, 6 hoppers, 1 chute, a diamond barrel. Not a grass block, but a dirt block. I mean, it could be a grass block. It doesn't really matter. Some smooth stone, glowstone, oak ladder, glass, smooth stone slabs. Of course, these can be any block of your choice. Some hay bales, oak plank. These are optional. A couple of corral blocks so that you can go in and out of them, but they can't. A slime incubator, some flowering azaleas that you can buy from the trader here for some zinc coins. Blue orchid, which in order to get the blue orchid, you can naturally find them in a couple different biomes. Probably more common in a swamp biome, but if you take bone meal and just bone meal some grass in the biome, like in the swamp, then it's going to grow a blue orchid. 100% chance. So let's rebuild at least the structure first, and then we'll kind of step by step go over how to set these up, how to configure the hoppers and things like that. Size really doesn't matter, but you want to limit to 7 slimes. Any more, and they will get furious because they'll be overcrowded. So these guys are happy right now. I'm accidentally taking some of their blue orchids. Did not mean to do that, but oh well. So you can just kind of go in and out of that corral block really nicely. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to building here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pick a spot. I just use a plank to mark the middle. It's not really that big of a deal. You're gonna count. Let me get out of creative mode here. Set time to day again. All right, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna place our block of choice there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, then the block of choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, then the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the block. And then we can create our square here. And I'm going to go back into creative mode just to make this a little bit easier. So we'll just complete our square here. Okay. And then we're going to want to pick a side to be our entrance. So technically, we'll get rid of one of those blocks. We'll grab this corral block here. I'll put that there. And then we'll go grab some... Oh, we'll finish off the shape here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Do that on all the corners. All right. Sure does like to rain a lot when you're making videos. And then we're just gonna close this off. Again, this design isn't necessary. Use any blocks you want. The height isn't that big of a deal. It just has to be at least a couple blocks high. Okay. And then we'll just fill that in with some glass. Right. Just like so. I'm not going to do any edits or cuts. I'm just going to build it in real time. Just easier editing wise, and then you don't think you missed out on anything, obviously. And then we're going to take some slabs. Let's see if I can get... Just going to do that on the ceiling here. So we'll just save the middle spot here. And then we'll grab a barrel. Actually, let's just put a block right there. We'll grab our diamond barrel. We'll place it right there. Okay. And then I guess to kind of finish everything off here for survival mode. I could be wrong. I think hay bales actually do dampen your fall a little bit. So maybe place those down if you're going to do a ladder system here, or you could do stairs or whatever. Just that way, if you kind of going up and down and then you find yourself falling a lot, you don't take those extra hearts of damage. All right, and now that we got this going, let's get our chute. Let me actually open this up so I can go in here and grab things a little bit easier. And we're just gonna crouch and right click on that. Okay. And then we're gonna want a couple plort presses here. So we'll put one here, one here. Let's move this stuff out of the way. And then we're gonna want a couple of hoppers. So basically we're gonna hopper in well, before we grab the hoppers, let's grab these smart bins here. And we're going to crouch and we're going to click him so that this dot is facing outward. So we'll just do it like this. Okay. Now we'll grab our hoppers. And we'll just click those in like that. And then we'll grab our baskets. And then we'll just crouch click them so that they're facing up. It's not that big of a deal which way they're facing. So that is pretty much the auto setup here. What we're going to need is, I should have put this on the list too, but we're going to need advanced magnet upgrade. I'll just grab this one here. Advanced hopper. And so what the magnet is going to do, and this one's already configured. Let's toggle this rain here. This is going to pick up from the ground, or from anywhere in this area. I'm not sure what the radius is, but we want to basically set this to allow, and flowering azalea, slimy plort, gold plort, and a blue orchid, so that way it can take that in. And then we're going to want an advanced hopper with the push and pull that's in the down position here. It says push and pull bottom down. Sometimes this can be in different positions depending on which way you're placing everything, so just look for those words. And we're going to push and pull the flowers. So obviously when you're starting out, you might not have the orchids right away. You can just put the flowering azaleas in there. And then what that's going to do is when you place those in there, they're going to push those out and suck them in right away. So that's your auto feed system right there. Okay. And then for it to pull up the gold plorts and the slimy plorts, we're going to want an advanced hopper for each one of those. So what we're going to do is, so the way it is over here, it's the same over here. So we're going to click this. The first one we're going to set to push to the left. It could be east, west, it could be whatever direction that you happen to be facing. And then put in what you want to put in the gold plort. It could be the right side if you don't want it to go to the left side. So what that does is it'll pull any. Let me go back real quick. So the advanced magnet will pull these in, right? But it won't push them out. Okay. So what's going to happen is let's actually just get gold plorts, okay, and slimy plorts. All right. So what's going to happen is if we put these in here, because I have this this advanced hopper right here, this is putting them in there right away. But I don't have the slimy hopper in there right now, so I'll show you. So if I put the slimy one in there, it's not doing anything because this is only pulling, it's only magnetizing them. So if I drop some, right? Well, even if I drop them out here, it is gonna pick them up, okay? So there, it's picking those up. Now if we throw in the hopper, okay, and then that one is set for push right, and then we have allow slimy plorts, that's going to push those to the right. And then that automatically, once there's 16 of them, it's going to create the hearts, and those hearts are going to get hoppered in with regular Minecraft hoppers into the smart shipping bin. So here we already got one. There's 65,000 right there, right? And after about 5 minutes, it's going to sell it and put it right in there. So that, I mean, that is done right there, okay? So if you're not familiar with how slimes work in general, oh, and then, you know, a bank over here just to take the money out and put it in your bank. Or you could go to wherever your bank is, obviously. All right. So to kind of do a general rundown of how slimes work, if you're not really sure, you'll run into structures that look like this. I just built this. I don't think this is exactly what they look like. But when you get close to them, they will spawn these slimes, right? So these are just the regular slimes, the regular slimy slimes. What you do is you can just crouch and hold right click, and then you get their slimes, right? And then you can go over here, and you can just, let me set the time today and toggle that off real quick. You can put your vacuum slime vac in your offhand, and then select your slime, and then you can just bloop, plop it in there, right? Okay. So we said we want 7 of these. So let's get a few more. 2, 3, 4. See, look at that. We just made 131,000. Okay, and that's really how much you make every. I think it's every 5 minutes. And then there's the slimy plorts that sold. So that was the right side. All right. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's all you want to do, right? And you could put an incubator in here, and then just let them grow and then have them come out. But so these guys are fine with the flowers, right? But we want the gold ones, right? Oh, again, the market, I just plop up here, and that's again just so you can buy the flowering azaleas and bloop, plop them right in there and be done with it, right? I don't think there's any automatic way to do that. There probably is automatic ways to put flowers in here eventually. Probably way more advanced and end game type of stuff, but for now that's fine. What we want is we want these gold. Let me just grab some of these since I'm here. We want these gold slimy largos. Okay. So what we want to do is actually, you start with these until you get into the skull cavern. And when you get into the skull cavern, then you're going to start getting, then you can actually get bitwise slimes, right? So let me clear my inventory, grab a vacuum here, and then let's grab a bitwise. We'll just spawn. We'll spawn one in just for the heck of it, right? So you'd suck this guy in, and you'd get the bitwise slime, okay? And then you would replace. Well, sorry, you don't even replace those guys. What you do is you save up enough coins, which you'll have plenty of coins. You save up enough coins to get a banker, get a villager here, and a seat. I should have had this prepared, but I kind of want to be real detailed on this and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so here's our banker. We can trade with him 62 netherite coins for an ancient coin. And then what you do in the, not the incubator, I'm sorry, the plort press here, is you put an ancient coin in, and then what you want to do is get a heart from this guy. So what you would do is you would plop him down, right? A bunch of them or whatever, and you would feed them their favorite food, which I forgot what their food of choice is. Let me look at them real quick. Minerals, right? So you would just feed them minerals. It could be any minerals in the game. So any of these, okay? Earth crystals, whatever it is. And you just need 16 of their plorts, okay? Which is their bitwise plorts. And then you put those 16, not in an incubator, I keep in the plort press, okay? And then over time, that will generate the heart, okay? I know I might be over-explaining for some people. Some people might be confused. Some people might be in the middle, and then this is just right. I'm not entirely sure exactly how to explain this, but I think this is the best way. What we do is we take our ancient coin and our heart, okay? And then that will, over time, produce a gold slime heart, okay? And so we would get 7 of those, okay? And let's just kill these guys, unfortunately. And obviously, well, I could just kill everything. Okay. So what you do is you would put this gold slime heart in a incubator. Right? Just plop an incubator in here. And over time, oh, sorry, you just got to right click the and over time, anyway, those guys will plop out. So gold slime. So let's just say you got your 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, they want preserves to eat, right? That's, I mean, if you got them automated, great. Feed them that. But if you just want to feed them flowers, turn them into largo. And by literally just feeding them slimy plorts that you've gotten from the basic ones, okay? Well, I gotta turn this off so that they'll actually eat this. So let me turn the magnet off for a second. Right? Look at that. They turn into gold slimy largo, which will eat the preserves and they'll eat the flowers. Okay? So you just have to feed them flowers, which is way easier to get. You just buy them straight up. Okay? All right. So why feed them? Well, you feed them flower and azaleas, and they're going to give you 1 plort every time they're fed. Okay, they'll give you 1 slimy. Sorry, not slimy. They'll give you 1 gold and 1 slimy. Okay. What we want to do is we want to go to a whatchamacallit, a swamp, bone meal the ground, and get yourself a blue orchid. Okay, just get 1 or 2 or 10 or whatever. And how do we get a whole bunch of these? Well, go to an ocean, just break a ton of kelp, and throw a bunch of kelp in this little setup right here. Okay, which is very easy. We'll just build it over here just so we have it over here too. So we've got a chest. We've got a couple hoppers going into the chest. We've got 2 composters, and we've got 2 hoppers going into the top. Make sure it's the top. Okay. And then grab yourself some kelp, which I think is the easiest thing to automate. Unless you have bone meal already automated, then you don't even need this. And then, yeah, throw that in there. Okay. And eventually, these will fill up. And they'll give you bone meal. And the cool thing about this is if you have the bone meal in your hand and you just right-click this, well, they're just disappearing. They're not going in my inventory, right? Where are they going? Well, this magnet is actually picking them up, okay? This magnet right here. So if I just, even if I had them in my inventory and I threw them on the ground, it would still pick them up. So yeah, you can just right click that and it'll automatically go in there. And so you want to keep your flowering azaleas in there, you know, just in case you run out of bone meal or whatever. But this will get you twice as much money. And we've been sitting here for, I'm not sure how long, but here we already have a stack, right? Here we only have 4, but that's just... Oh, sorry. How much do we really have? This is how much we really have. So... yeah. So that's it. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else to explain. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. If you got suggestions on how to make this better, which I'm sure there's plenty of ways to make this better, because this is only my second iteration of this. Yeah, feel free to leave it in the comments. Oh, and by the way, these the reason no bad mobs are spawning or even good mobs is because I got these dread lamps and these so these mega torches stop the mobs from spawning passive non-passive, aggressive, and then the passive mobs are not being spawned because of the dread lamp. If you go out here, they obviously are. Okay, and then I'm in a test world, so I'm actually -49. So if I turn this to night, baddies are going to start spawning out here too. Somewhere around here. There we go. There's one. So obviously this is overkill. I think these actually work in a 64 by 64 block radius. But I was getting annoyed when I was making the videos, so yep. All right. Well, that is it. So, hey, thanks for watching. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more of these videos, go ahead and hit the subscription button. And I did forget about the redstone. So you can throw those one in from the very far corner if you want, or put them wherever you want. Put extra ones in here if you want. Whatever looks good to you. I am not a great designer. I just like monkeying around and tinkering with these things. So cool. All right. See you in the next video.